Hey, what's good, folks? Chef London back with another video. Do me a favor before I jump into the video. Click the subscribe button. We're trying to grow the channel. It's moving. I'm happy with the numbers, but let's speed it up. All right, let's make this the dopest YouTube fitness channel out there. But anyway, people are looking at me as I'm filming this video. But I got a question in the gym today. It was a good question. The guy asked me, he said, "Hey, what tips do you have for nutrition?" And I was like, "All right, what are you trying to do, man?" And he was like, "Well, basically he's trying to build muscle and get ripped, right?" And this guy, he's in pretty good shape. He's not bad. You could start see he has some ripples of abs, he says, and he has a little bit of mass on him, but he's not shredded and he's not very big. So he wants to pack on more muscle, but he wants to get even more ripped. So I told him, I was like, "Look, you can't do both, right? You cannot build muscle and get ripped. It's very difficult to do both. Let me say that. Now, even bodybuilders, people that get paid, top dollar, who win competitions, don't try to do both, right? What bodybuilders do and what a lot of people do, just the general public, is bodybuilders will bulk. In order to build muscle, you have to pick up some fat. In order to lose weight and get ripped, you have to lose some muscle. That's just how this thing works. So what bodybuilders do, they bulk. It's called bulking, where you eat a lot. It's called a caloric surplus, but where you eat a lot and then you lift heavy and you put on muscle. But as you put on muscle, you lose some of the aesthetic. You may lose the abs, right? Then they do that for a long period of time, sometimes 2 months, sometimes longer, depends on the person. They go on bulking season. That's usually during the winter. Then they go on a cut. That's where they lose a bunch of weight and they try to keep on as much of that muscle that they gained over the winter, right? So we got bulking, we got cutting that we talked about. Now, I don't like that method. And a lot of people in the gym, and you see these people a lot of times, especially bodybuilders, in the wintertime, they have huge hoodies on, they got big mass, big body. That's because they're bulking, they're fat. They're just covering up their body. They don't really want anyone to see their body. And the general public kind of took this method, but I don't recommend it because, I mean, look, I'm not a bodybuilder, right? And you're probably not a bodybuilder if you're watching this either. And so you don't ever really want to be fat. Like, there's never a time in the year where I'm like, hey, you know what? This is a good month where I get fat. Especially me, because I do a lot of photo shoots throughout the year. Some people hit me up, photographers hit me up. They're like, hey, I want you to do something for me. So I always have to stay ripped all year round. So I'm going to get to the point, and here's the point. I recommend doing a process called mini bulks and mini cuts. Now, this advice is for men and women, because a lot of you females, too, you guys need to pack on some muscle, too. You want a bigger butt, you want bigger legs, you want the whole 9 yards. So basically, instead of going on this long 2-month bulking period, you're going to go on a shorter bulk, right? So my bulks are like 2 to 3 weeks. I'll go on a 2-week bulk where I eat a lot and I lift heavy and I pack on a little bit of muscle. Then I'll go on a mini cut for about a week or two where I eat less, work out harder, maybe do a little bit more cardio, a little bit more HIIT cardio, and I try to keep as much muscle as possible, right? So let's talk about the bulk again. During the bulk for that 2 or 3 weeks, I pick up a little bit of fat. I'm not as ripped as I usually am. But I bulk up into the point where my abs lose a little bit of definition, where they start getting a little bit puffy. And then once I see, but the abs are still there, but they're just not as defined. Now, once I get to that point, I go on another cut. And I'll cut in a way by doing HIIT cardio, working out hard, where I'll lose all the fat and I'll keep some of the muscle. And I'll just pretty much do that throughout the year. It ebbs and flows, right? It's like an EKG. So I bulk a little bit, I cut a little bit, bulk a little bit, cut a little bit, bulk a little bit, but I always keep the abs. So this is what I recommend for you, depending where you're at in the fitness scene. Get as ripped as possible, all right? Get as ripped as possible because it's easier to manage that way. You know what I mean? So for me, that's why I don't count calories, because I could just look at my body, and when I see my abs getting puffy, I know it's time to cut. So get as ripped as possible, then start doing these mini bulks, mini cuts, mini bulks, mini cuts. And I'll upload another video about how to keep on as much muscle as possible when you bulk. But first, get ripped first. All right, do a lot of HIIT cardio, run intervals on the treadmill, which I think are the most effective things you could do. HIIT cardio is cool, man. I mean, I love HIIT cardio, but I mean, for me, when I get on the treadmill and I run for 1 minute, and I jump off the treadmill for, oh shoot, I'm spitting all over the places. Y'all ain't see that. I'm not even gonna edit that either. When I run, sprint my ass off for 1 minute, I jump off for 30 seconds, and I do that 10 times, there's nothing more exhausting than that for me. And I feel like my body responds to that, and I'll get shredded quickly. Or do 30 seconds on the treadmill, 15 seconds off. All right, but I don't want to get too deep into HIIT cardio. I'll upload a whole nother video about that. But can you it's very difficult to build muscle and lose weight at the same time. You know what I mean? It's hard to do. You got to do one or the other. But the best method I found, and it's not even my method. I got this from a dude named Brandon Carter, and he got it from a dude named Bill Phillips. Not even my method, so I can't champion it. But it works, man. I don't know another way you can do it and still look without getting fat. All right, so hopefully that was helpful. I just wanted to upload that video, upload this video because, I mean, it was a good question. It's a good question. I know a lot of y'all have that question. So try it out. Listen, let me know if this worked for you. Drop a comment if you're going to try it. Let me know if it works. And also like the video. If you feel this is helpful, share it with somebody, man. Just share it so you can spread the information. Because that's what this channel is about, man. I'm just trying to give as much value as possible. All right, so follow me on the gram at King London Supreme. Oh, listen, I got the 21-day fat loss program. I'm dropping the price. It's usually $50. I'm dropping it down to $20 until the Memorial Day, which is in a few days. So I'll put a link in the description. It's 21 days. I give you a full grocery list. I tell you what to eat. I tell you what time to eat, and you'll get ripped. If you're somebody that's looking to lose weight, you're trying to lose that extra 10 pounds, that extra 5 pounds, or you're even starting your weight loss journey, this is the program for you, and it's sustainable. It's not a crash diet. It's a sustainable diet that you can do forever. Click the link in the description. You heard me? Hey.